Okay, so I'm going to show you guys something that will help you out in scripting immensely. It's called debug.log. I'm going to add component, just going to go down, create a new script. I'll call it test. And I'll hit create and add. Then I'll go back to my assets panel and move it into the scripts folder. Then I'll double click to open it. Okay, so we have this default set up here. And remember how I said this is called only once at the start, and then this is called every single frame? I'm going to prove it real quick with a useful feature called debug.log. All that debug.log does is send information to the screen. So I could put function calls in here and see what they're doing, see what the return values of variables are at various places. It may not seem important now, but at some point you're going to want to try to know what's going on in your code when you're debugging, and this is very useful. Right now I'm just going to send hello there to the screen. This should be sent to the screen exactly once when we press play on our game. I'll open up the console here, hit play. And as expected, it says hello there. Right there. So it called hello there. Alright, and now I'll clear that, go back to the code, and then I'll call debug.log again, and this time I'll say, are you annoyed yet? Because it's going to call it for every single frame of the game, which could be hundreds of times by the time I hit stop. So nothing's here in the console. I'm going to hit play, and after just a few seconds I'm going to hit stop, and look, it printed it off hundreds of times, every single frame, and it probably runs at about 20 frames to 30 frames a second. So just to prove to you what's going on in that code, I just used debug.log. I use debug.log a lot when I'm coding, and I have variables that I want to test to see what they are. So this may not seem useful yet, but I promise you this will be really useful in the future.